Yo, well, gone. Hope you're having a great day. In this video, I want to share something with you. I want to share an overview, a review slash tutorial of RC20. Now, you've probably heard of RC20 before. You've probably seen other producers on YouTube use this plugin, put it to use and get some great sounds out of it. And in this video, I want to show you what's behind RC20. Is it worth the price? Is it something you should be purchasing? Can you get the same results without using RC20? All that sort of stuff. All those interesting questions will be answered in this video, so stay tuned. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Jay Carteret from jcarteret.com, teaching you how to be better at music production, online marketing, and online business. This is the #1 spot for creatives and musicians that don't want to be a starving artist. So if that sounds like you, click that subscribe button, check out the rest of the content on the channel. You're gonna find a lot of stuff to love here. So let's get into it. Now, you know how I like to do my reviews. I like to walk through the product page from the developer, publisher, and see what they're saying and see if what the truth is matches what they're saying. So basically, the selling point for RC20 is it adds life and texture inspired by classic gear. It adds warmth and analog style fluctuations, and it basically just makes your music sound more analog. It makes it sound warmer. It adds some color to it. It just gives it a little bit more oomph, so it doesn't just sound like any basic melody in the background. Here it says RC20 Retro Color is a creative effect plugin that adds life and texture to any recording. It recreates the warm, cozy feeling of vintage recording equipment, but also works perfectly in any modern production setting, which is really important, because honestly, a long while ago, when I first started producing, it was very hard to actually make my songs sound like they weren't like whipped up in FL Studio in 4 minutes or something. Like, to make them sound like actual music, it usually just sounded like, you know, there was some digital asshole that just shout out the music. Like, that's what it sounded like. Didn't sound nice. It sounded thin, it sounded cold. But through, you know, years of learning how to learning music production and learning how to mix and master and stuff like that, that has changed to this point. But RC20 is also a great plugin, a great tool to help you stop that happening, to give your melodies a bit more oomph, a bit more warmth, so that it sits in the beat and it doesn't sound, I don't know what the word is, but it just, you know, fake and you know, thin and all that sort of stuff. But let's get into it. Let's look at RC20, because that's enough talking about it. We're not going to sit here talking about it forever. Let's bring it up. Now, I've brought you into one of my projects, one of my previous projects, one that I cooked up a little bit earlier. Now, this is not mixed, so give me the benefit of the doubt here. But I do basically want to walk you through what RC20 sounds like on, you know, this track in particular, and then I'll show you how it sounds like in this pattern in particular. So these audio files have had RC20 applied to it, as well as some EQing. I'm unsure if this has halftime applied to it, because I honestly haven't, like, I listened to the song a little bit a while ago, but I don't remember right about now at the top of my head. So we'll listen to it, but I'm gonna show you what this sounds like. Then we're gonna go to the pattern, and I'm gonna show you what the fresh melody sounds like with no effects on it. And then we're gonna get into RC20, and I'm gonna show you exactly how RC20 works over here. Let's actually detach this and leave it in the background so you can kind of see what's going on. This is the preset that I used for these audio files here. So if you want to copy that, you can go ahead and do that. But the thing with RC20 is it has a plethora of presets, and that's what I love with my plugins. I love a bunch of presets so that I don't have to go in and twiddle knobs, but I can go in and twiddle knobs if I want to. That's what I like. That sounds a bit that's how I like my tools to work, basically. Let's do that. Twiddling knobs. I need to find another way to say that, man, because that sounds super gay. Anyways, let's continue with this and let's play this music so that you can hear what it sounds like with that RC20. So as you can hear, it sounds very ambient. It sounds very warm. It's got a lot of texture to it. It sounds a bit old, a bit analog. And that's the kind of sound that I'm going for. That's the kind of sound that I like. That's the kind of sound that I enjoy in my R&B trap beats. And I generally want it to be ambient, but also, you know, warm and whatnot. So that's a great sound to go for. Let's actually go to the pattern and hear what this originally sounds like. I believe this is the correct thing. So honestly, this is pretty warm already. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice sound. There's not too much that I would need to do to it. But you know, my EQing and whatnot has brought it to where it needs to be. And then if we just allow the retro color, you'll see the difference. It makes everything sound fuller, and it makes it sound older. It makes it sound older, and it gives it even more warmth. Let me show you the difference again. We can, you know, turn on the effect and turn off the effect like that. So let's do that. But you know, that's easy. Like, this is a nice instrument that sounds beautiful. What more do I expect from this? Let's bring in FL keys. Yeah, let's bring some FL keys over here so we can get a bigger difference than with this lovely instrument over here. Let's turn off everything. Sounds a bit whack. Sounds a bit whack. And then if we add the RC20, it sounds a little bit better. And basically, there are a bunch of presets that we can go through. We can, generally, I stick to vinyl, and I'll grab some VHS now and then. And I also use these pad presets. I have tried out I think it's one of the 808 presets to add some distortion to an 808 before, which was pretty cool. But we can basically, what these presets do is they just move through the different modules. So as you can see over here, we can go through a bunch of different types of noise. So there's a variety of different options there. I think that was over 10. I'm not 100% sure. Over here we got, I think that was like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of distortion. And we've got, you know, the digital, the space, if we wanted that on, magnetic, or we could just go through the different presets to see what different things sound like, or we can go through the different actual, you know, options to see what different things sound like. See here, there's no digital, so it's gonna sound even more whack, to be honest. If we fling this on VHS, it should be a little bit exciting. Let's listen to this. See that? The whir and the wobble and all that sort of stuff, that's all coming from RC20. I believe most of that whir and wobble is coming from the digital. A little bit's coming from the wobble, but I think it's mostly coming from digital and magnetic. Let's turn it off. Maybe it's the wobble that it's mainly coming from, let me not lie. Yeah, it seems like it's the wobble that it's mainly coming from, not the digital and magnetic, which makes sense. Well, you can add some space to make it a little bit more epic, more spacious. Turn on the decay. But this is how you can change a really flat, thin sound into a big, epic, thick sound. Could add some more distortion on it, but I don't think that's necessary at all. But just so you can see what it's doing. Yeah, let me just go through the knobs so you can kind of see the effect that you're getting. It sounds like those memes. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And then of course we can have the noise super loud, but you know, why would you do that? You just want a little bit of noise there. And then if we turn RC20 off, sounds like this. Let's turn it back on. It's like night and day. It's like boring, interesting. Boring, interesting. So I really do like RC20, and I have been using it on pretty much all of my melodies since I got it. Like, I've just been using it on all of my melodies. Shout out to Excellent Audio for sending me RC20. There will be a link to RC20 in the description if you want to grab it, by the way. But let's go through the product page and see what else they're saying, so that we can, you know, talk about 6 unique effects modules. Yeah, they do have 6 unique effects modules. You know, the noise, where's RC20? Why ain't it sitting up? Noise, wobble, distort, digital, space, magnetic, flux engine. Our exclusive flux engine adds subtle or not so subtle instability and fluctuations to all of the FX modules, providing a character of warmth and analog goodness of yesteryear's best technology. I believe this would be... Oh, here's the flux. I mean, I haven't really used the flux a lot, to be honest. But it just seems like a bit of a randomizer. I would, you know, test it out. It seems like it just makes things a little bit more crazy. Like, you could have it on a low percentage, but then super crazy. I don't know. I still need to explore this a little bit more and just play around with it, I guess. Like, that's the best way to figure out how to use plugins, to just play around with it, use it in your daily, you know, usage. but I've just been mainly using presets and just twiddling the knobs to where it needs to be. The flux stuff I haven't really worried about, so I don't really know much about that. Magnitude slider controls the intensity of all processing, easily accessible all the time, even when browsing presets. Automate this control for awesome intros, breakdowns, and transitions in your song. That is pretty good that you can automate it, but this is like a bypass knob. Like if we turn it down, it's bypassed. But I guess the way that this works is a little bit different, because as I bring this up, you can see that the values of the rest of these knobs are going up as well. It's not just off and on, it's like off and then a little bit on, all the way on. So it is a bit different than a bypass knob, which is what I would have expected this to be. And you know, creating automations, can I create automations from this? I'm supposed to be able to, but doesn't seem like I can, unless I have to go to, you know, new or something to create an automation. But I can't just create an automation from right here, unfortunately. So if I wanted to create an automation, what I would probably do is I'd just create an automation from the mix level like I would usually do in a plugin. But I guess I'd look into this a little bit more and see how do I create automations on different plugins, because I'm pressing right click and nothing's happening here. Maybe that's on me. I don't know. I can't tell you, mate. If you guys know what the problem is why I can't create automation in this plugin, leave a comment down below. That'll be very, very helpful. Now, presets, there are a bunch of presets. And they're right, the RC20 interface does invite experimentation, because it's just, you know, a few knobs. It's not that difficult to play around and see what happens. You can go through the presets and find something else and be like, oh, this is what I want. And then you can add other modules and change it up and be like, let's see what this sounds like. Let's see what that sounds like. You can add more, you can add a little bit less. And generally, like, I haven't flung this on and found anything sounding worse than before I added it. So I think generally you're just gonna have a better sound from adding RC20. Of course, don't go over the limit. Like if you're flinging your wobble up there and you're flinging your distort over there, did that just say 11? Distort on 11. That's hilarious. If you're doing that, then you're probably going to be ruining the sounds. But if you're just doing it really, really subtly, which I think is what this plugin is all about, it's about just adding some subtle character to your melodies and whatnot. And you can apply this to your whole song if you want to do that. But it's about just applying some color, some texture, you know, that sort of stuff. So I wouldn't ever go more than 50% generally. Like, I don't really do that. And if you're not doing that, you're generally gonna find that you're improving anything that you put through here. Like, I haven't put something through there and been like, oh, that would sound much better without that. Like, that's never occurred. And that's pretty much the page. I think the last thing on the page would be the price, which we'll get into that really, really quickly. But I do think before I had RC20, what I would do in order to get that color is I'd pitch my audio down, which is a great way to get some color to your audio and whatnot. But I do think that RC20 does add that extra kick, that extra color, the extra texture, the extra pinch of flavor. So I do really like it. But if you're strapped for cash, you ain't got, I think it's like 70 euros. Let's scroll up and see how much it is. If you ain't got 79 euros, which I believe there was an end of the year sale, so unfortunate if you missed that. I might be able to get some sort of, I doubt there'll be a code out. There might be a code, it might be a discount while you're watching this, maybe not. Links in the description, make sure you use that. You might get a discount code if you go through that. But basically, $79 to add all this texture and flavor to your beats and basically make things sound better, but also make it subtle so that people don't even know what's going on. think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I don't have any real complaints for RC20. Like, it does what it says on the tin. There's no point where I was like, wow, that's not doing what I thought it was supposed to be doing or anything like that. So there really are no negative points for this. I think it's an affordable plugin. It's under £100, and it does what it says it's going to do. But as I said, if you ain't got any money, what you can do is just turn your MIDI to audio, pitch it down. You'll get some flavor. It'll sound a little bit more, you know, vinyl, a little bit more old school and analog and whatnot. But if you really want to go to the extremes and get things sounding beautiful, then RC20 is where it's at. That's taking things to the next level, investing a little bit into it, and I think it's more than worth the money, man. I think it's more than worth the money. All I've found with RC20 is myself being impressed. So I as I said, I can't find any cons for it. It's just it's just a great tool that you can experiment with and get a bunch of great sounds out of. I haven't had any bad experiences with this thus far, and I've been using it for like maybe a month or two at this moment. I've been using it around 2 months, like producing a bunch of beats, flinging on RC20 and seeing what's up. So yeah, I'd say get ASAP. Link will be in the description down below. Get RC20. It is pretty good. Pretty good. I'll put my hands up. It's pretty good. So yeah, now since you watched this video, you got through to the end, first of all, I hope this video helped you out and showed you how to use RC20, how you can use it on your own beats. But I also want to give you a free gift. I want to give you 10 free loops, free of charge. You can use this in your beats. You can sell these beats and do whatever you wish. Link will be in the description, or go to jcarteray.com/free loops. Grab those, let me know what you think. And my question of the day is, what plugins do you use to enhance your melodies? Let me know in the comments. Bruv, this is such a beautiful question. I'm so excited to hear the answers to this because I love a bit of enhancing of the melodies. So let me know what you're using over there on your post-processing and whatnot, your plugins, your VSTs that you use to get your melodies sounding beautiful. Tell me in the comment section down below, and I will be making a video on the 5 best plugins for making ambient melodies, so definitely stay tuned for that. That's going to be very interesting. And yeah, make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you like this video, because then it lets me know that you like this type of content. I should make more of it, blah blah. So make sure you do that, and I'll see you in the next video where you'll learn more about music production, online business and online marketing. I'll see you there. Peace out.